Good to see you this Tuesday. I'm continuing my mug of tea today. First sip was alright.
How was it?
Honestly, it's not a Pepsi Max.
It's not.
And neither is it a Vimto. Neither is a Calippo Ice Lolly. Neither is it anything sweet and good and
Got the
pleasant.
taste buds of a 9-year-old boy.
I need to grow up. Lord, God, just give me mature taste buds. Talking of mature taste buds, Isaiah is often a book that we read as a devotional way because it's, particularly the first 2/3 is quite heavy. But that's what we're working through this week. And we're looking specifically today at chapters Isaiah 19 to 21. And just to remind you of our thought from yesterday, it was all about our propensity to forget God. And as I said yesterday, this week, we're kind of couching our thoughts and ideas into F words, descriptors about God. And yesterday we looked at the reality of forgotten God, that so often in our day-to-day life, it's easy for us to look past God, to forget God, to forget his blessings, to forget his mercies. And today we're going to be looking at a different facet of God from Isaiah 19 to 21. So hopefully you've read it. If not, pause this, go and read it now. And you're just going to share a thought, aren't
What
you?
is it that you haven't said?
Well, I was going to wait until you offer the thought and say
all right,
what we're couching it into.
Okay. There we
You
go.
get it?
I
Okay.
get you.
Okay, I'm going to drink my tea in
Good luck.
disgust because you're not tracking with me.
Sorry.
We're not syncing up.
Okay, so this is really heavy, as Dom said, these kind of chapters today. No, it's still a no.
Still a no, needs
Try
more
with
Vimto.
sugar. Vimto.
Okay.
It's prophecies against, prophecies, and some of the words, I picked out a couple of the phrases that Isaiah uses from God in this passage. And he says there's going to be despair, the waters will dry up, I'll hand you over to a cruel master, I'm going to stir up hatred. This is our God talking
Heavy.
here. It's really heavy. Happy Tuesday, guys.
Yeah.
It's really heavy stuff that God's talking about
Yeah.
here through the prophet Isaiah. Just really strong, really like almost a vengeance God, which is not the F word.
Well,
It's not a vengeance God.
vengeance. Well, also, you think this is heavy. Wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow's coming.
Tomorrow gets worse, right? Okay.
Wednesday's coming.
But there's a glimmer. There's a glimmer in this passage. And the
Okay.
glimmer is kind of what I've anchored to.
Come
Because I
on.
feel like in all of these chapters,
Yeah.
we've tried to find the glimmer that exists in all of Isaiah's prophecies. But basically, so where are we? Isaiah 19:19. By this point, don't forget, we've had prophecies about, just go back. Prophecies against Moab, against Damascus, against Cush, against the Philistines, against... I know we're in the prophecy about Egypt.
So it's Isaiah 19, verse 20.
Oh, is it?
to
19...
21.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1920, sorry,
Yeah.
And Isaiah says, it will be a sign and a witness to the Lord Almighty in the land of Egypt.
Yeah.
And it says, when they cry out to the Lord because of their oppressors, he will send them a saviour and a defender, and he will rescue them.
Oh, it feels a bit Isaiah 40 here.
Doesn't it? I know.
Feels like we're
It's
jumping the gun just a little
sneak
bit.
Peek. It's a little
We're in the
sneak
middle of the woes, but yet there's this...
peek. I know. Teaser trailers, man. Teaser trailers.
Teaser trailers.
Teaser trailers in Isaiah that actually God is in the midst of this full out
Come on.
rage of there is death and destruction coming your way, and yet but when you call to me, I'll be there.
So good.
And I love that. I love that God has still got this heart. He's still got this desire that as soon as you call to me, I'm going to come. I'm going to send a defender. I'm going to rescue you from this mess that you have got yourself in.
Yeah.
And I love how God does that with us, right? Like,
So true.
so many times we can find ourselves in crazy, lost places and disobeying God, walking away from God. We've had some chats in our small group about this, haven't we? Just this idea that, how can I be all in 1 minute and then just seem to have lost my way another? Fickle heart, in and out. And yet God is always there. When you call out, I'll come
so
to
good.
you. I'll send my rescuer and I'll defend you.
Well, it's great because yesterday we looked at this human propensity to forget God. And even though we forget God, it's really helpful to think in our mind today that God is not forgetful. Like, it's not a forgetful God.
Yeah.
He's forgotten God. So the onus is on us to remember him. Because even when we do mess up, even when we do stuff up, this brings us to the F word for today.
Come on.
Which is this: forgiving God.
Not vengeful God.
Not vengeful God.
Not vengeful God. Forgiving
Not
God.
forgetful God,
No.
but forgiving God. So
Right.
even when we misplace our worship, when we misplace our trust, when we indulge in sin or whatever it may be that separates us from the heart and life of God, God does not forget us. He actually forgives us when we come to him, and that's
right.
that's really important. So it's a great thought.
Absolutely. And I love that Isaiah said this when he, there's a part in today's reading, which you'll read, where he takes off his clothes and his shoes. And he's just walking around for 3 years.
It's funny you should say that.
Ah! Don't do it!
Shoes are off! Let's go! That's my kind of prophecy. The naked
The
truth.
naked truth of Isaiah.
Heard the naked chef. How long was he naked for? Isaiah?
3 years. Well, at this point, yeah, I don't know if it went on longer than that. But in this passage, somewhere in this chapter selection for today, you'll read that he takes
That's
his
a lot of
tunic off, takes his shoes off, and then he delivers the next 3
I mean,
years of
sometimes
prophecy.
people get offended at me at church.
I know.
Just imagine
I know.
if I said, guys, I've got a prophetic word for you.
There we go. It's unavoidable.
Repent!
I feel like we've lost the track. now.
Sorry.
That was my fault. But anyway, God is with you no matter what your mess, no matter how far you've strayed. Don't forget that God hasn't forgotten you and that he will forgive you.
He's a forgiving God. See you tomorrow.